We're talking about the times because we're men of the times, and there's a lot to talk about. Let's get into it. All right, everybody, welcome to the new and improved Men of the Times podcast. We're happy to be here with you. Quick round of introductions. I'm Justin, one of the crew. Right next to me here on my left, your right, is good old T. Hello, T.
Hello, Justin.
Hello, T.
How art thou?
I'll be good, sir. Hello.
Wonderful.
Great.
Wonderful.
Perfect. And then T's got a bit
Move
of a
on,
British
Willy
accent.
Wonka.
All right, then. Chocolates for everyone. Hey. And on my right, potentially your left, is our good friend Ron. What's up, Ron?
Hey, what's going on, y'all?
First time really doing this with us.
That's right. Yeah, the new show.
Then this is the new and improved
Welcome,
version.
Ronald.
Hey,
Ronald.
I'm happy to be here.
You're
only
so
two.
British.
Happy to have you.
You're so
Welcome,
British.
Ronald.
That's right.
Oh my God, hilarious. And our last bit of the crew is the man in the corner.
It's nice
Hello,
to be
man in the
back.
corner.
It's amazing to be back on the show with you guys.
Max.
Oh jeez. Oh, I love it. Well, we're happy to have you back as well, man in the corner. Thanks for that. Man in the corner is gonna be here for a little while, and he's gonna help us out with some information if we so need it. He's only using the one computer now. He had to. The double screen look was really better.
He was
for you.
doubled up. He was doubled up.
You were doubled up earlier.
Fucking double cheeked up on a Sunday
There you
morning.
go.
right
There
here.
you go.
That's right.
Jesus. Well, we are Men of the Times. We have a couple of other friends that'll be hanging out with us on our podcast who are not here with us today, but you will be seeing them. And really, we're just a bunch of dudes talking about what's going on in the world, talking about everything that's going on, society, culture, sports, whatever, you name it, we talk about it because these are the times, man. It's some crazy times, isn't it, gents? Some crazy times going on.
Yeah.
Oh.
2024 is going to be one hell of a year.
Whoa!
Buckle up,
Whoa.
everybody.
It's already
Indeed.
crazy.
Indeed.
Yeah.
It's already started off with a bang. So there we go. So tonight, everybody, here are some things that we're gonna get to. We would be remiss if we didn't talk about good old Jeffrey Epstein,
Jeff.
the Epstein and his island,
Yeah.
and the various people who were there. We have the manifest. The manifest has
Yep.
been released.
There's been a trend I've seen of using some of the AI image generation tools to make Lego sets of different things, and someone made a Lego Epstein's Island.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
no. Why? Why? Why?
Oh. That is the worst
God.
use of Legos ever.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
But I bet it's probably sold out already.
Oh.
Oh,
It was for ages 12 and up.
Oh, that's so bad.
12? 12?
I don't remember if that was on the box. I just made that up.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Oh, I was going to say, that's such an arbitrary age.
Or-
Well, the way middle schoolers are talking these days, it's maybe not that uncommon to have 12-year-olds knowing what's going on. But yeah, so good old Epstein. And then Pat McAfee at ESPN. Crazy stuff's been going on to him since he's been there. We're going to talk about that. Katt Williams said some shit, as he normally does, and it was amazing, as it normally is. So we're going to talk about that. Rodgers and Kimmel are in a debate, thanks to good old Pat McAfee as well, about stupid things. All of these things are related, in all fairness. Might get to a little bit of NFL talk as the season just wrapped up and a lot of things are going on. And then Stanley Cups. No, not the Stanley Cup of the NHL. They're cups that are durable that you use to drink out of. They also happen to be named Stanley. I don't know why everybody cares about this, but there's a lot of things to talk about. We'll see how much we get through on this right now. But first and foremost, we got look, man. The manifesto, it's out. The list is out. We now know names.
Well, it's not. In fairness, it's not really a list per se.
True. It's not. It's a flight manifest.
It's basically so what happened is.
Yeah, let's tee this up, T. That's gonna be your thing.
Tee it up, T.
Tee it up, T.
Okay, so basically, it was the release of previously sealed documents from one lawsuit against Jeffrey Epstein when he was alive, and now against the Epstein estate. The thing is, there are 34 of such lawsuits still in existence with sealed documentation, obviously because of the age factor.
Mm-hmm.
A judge in New York, I believe, decided to, for reasons unknown to me at this time, decided to release these documents to the general public, to remove the seal. So
And God bless him. God bless that judge, eh?
Yes.
I mean,
in the need,
inquiring minds wanted to know.
in the need of transparency. Yes. So basically, what is it? It's a load. It's a load of documents that you would expect to see in a civil suit. So depositions of witnesses and people involved, photographs of the island, and pictures of famous people who were there. And so you're getting a lot of connections to people who were previously unknown to have been involved with Jeffrey Epstein.
Man, you
Right.
don't want to be in those photos, man.
Nobody wants to be in those photos. Anything remotely. Well, that's why they tried to keep it covered up for so long. Nobody wanted this coming out.
Nah,
Particularly Prince Andrew. that guy's toast.
he's done, man.
That
toast.
man is.
You're a Brit. Tell us what the
he's-
implications are of this.
Prince Andrew was always known.
Pervert.
How do I put this politely?
As a bit of a pedo.
No, just that. Well,
wasn't
now.
known. Well, now. Now he's known as a pedo.
An utter fool.
Mm.
An utter. Okay, so the background of Prince Andrew is this: there were 4 children born to the late departed Queen. God bless you. Sorry,
Yeah.
she will always be the nation's grandmother. She was a saint, great at her job. Anyway, so she had 4 children. Prince Andrew was the 3rd. So it was Charles, Anne, Andrew, and Edward. He was the 2nd son. So according to being the 2nd son, he was given the dukedom of York, which is traditionally one of the most powerful dukedoms in England, center of all the Wars of the Roses, and what have you. Okay, but he was also known as he was always known as an utterly arrogant, spoiled brat of a human being. To sum it up, this is a 63-year-old man, mind you, a 63-year-old man threw a hissy fit and a shit fit because the staff didn't arrange his teddy bear collection correctly. Real story.
And it's
real.
And we're surprised that he was a pedo.
He said he was. Okay,
he had a teddy bear collection.
Prince Andrew. Okay,
did he also have a van? Hi, kids. You
Prince Andrew.
Teddy bears?
Okay, so the Prince Andrew's life story.
Bro, he's got the makings of everything pedophile profile you
know
want.
He's
got a pedo profile.
He was a womanizer. He was always okay. He was always a womanizer. He was always up for taking a bribe. It was one of the reasons why the British government had to remove him from being Britain's chief trade ambassador.
Yeah.
Because if instead of doing trade with like countries who were maybe on the level, like the United States, blah blah blah, they were all of a sudden like wondering, like, mate, why is the son of the dictator of Kazakhstan all of a sudden buying the mansion that the late Queen gifted you? Because like you haven't lived in it for 15 years.
He doing back alley deals.
Mate, he mate.
He likes many back alleys.
Boy, lads. He was basically Hunter Biden with an official title.
Oh, wow, that's a good way of summing it up.
It's pretty solid.
That's solid.
That's solid.
That's often the curse of the second son in royalty, because you get all of the privilege.
Look at Prince Harry. He's also a bit of a nutter, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's a bit of a nutter.
That comes with being the second son. because you have all of the privilege with none of the
Really?
responsibility.
What are you?
You're
What are
like
you supposed
you're
to do?
invisible. You got all that power, but you're invisible because you're not the
Yeah.
number one.
Yeah.
Well, but that's the thing. Even of the English royalty, like there's not even
Man.
much power in it.
I mean, a lot
left
of
in
a lot
Europe,
of
Yo.
a
but
lot
there's
of
plenty
second
of
sons tried to
privilege.
kill their brothers at one
Yeah.
point to have the power.
That's
Yeah,
right, man.
But that's a bit frowned upon today.
well, because there is no power.
Can't exactly just be assassinating
Well, that's
your
because
brother these days.
That's
It's a,
because there's
You can't
no
be
action.
assassinated, your brother.
Yeah.
These
Yeah.
days, man.
I can't believe it happened.
like a previous.
What? Nobody thought he'd fall on a sword. It's 2024. Who would have thought he'd fall on a sword? Why was the sword there?
like
It was in your room, Prince Harry. No, was it?
like a previous Duke of York, Richard Duke of York, who was one of the princes in the Tower.
Oh,
Have you heard of this story, lads?
please regale us.
It's the biggest murder mystery in the history of England.
Oh,
So,
but is it related
Have
to
you seen
Epstein?
the Shakespeare play Richard III?
Yeah.
Okay, that plot is basically, in my opinion, what happened. So Richard, it's the end of the Woods of the Roses. Richard III had his nephews in the Tower of London,
Damn.
and no one has found the bodies ever since.
Mm.
It's proper Game of Thrones shit, bro. But
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna do it,
Gangster.
properly.
do it, yeah. And 600 years later, no one's found the bodies. But
it's a Jimmy Hoffa situation.
Man, them bodies gone.
basically,
Yeah, I
It's
found them.
basically just
Mhm.
another a very late Jimmy Hoffa.
Or early.
Or early, yeah, early.
Yeah.
Early is better, yeah, early. An early Jimmy Hoffa situation. Wow, how about that? Well,
but Prince Andrew is done.
well,
He's
Yeah,
absolutely done.
He's out.
He's hiding out in Windsor Castle right now and won't leave his room, apparently.
with his teddy bears.
With his teddy bears. Yeah.
I was just looking up for
Sounds
confirmation of this teddy bear thing because my immediate response was like, "Oh, that sounds insane," but no, this is real.
Yeah,
is real,
good idea.
100% real.
Yeah, so, mate,
Yeah.
it is
Not
for
60.
real. It is absolutely for real.
Teddy bears.
And the amazing thing is, guys, have you seen the interview that Prince Andrew gave to BBC Panorama in 2019?
No.
Not generally on my watching list, but please feel free to.
Oh my god, he's complete and utter naivety, narcissism, borderline sociopathy is on full display. Quick precursor, his PR woman advised him very prudently, don't give this interview to the BBC.
And he did it anyway.
He thought he could talk his fucking way out of
it.
this
Mm.
because I'm Prince Andrew. So he goes on there, right? And she's describing how Virginia Giuffre accused him of meeting him in this bar in London called Tramps, which is very ironic
Tramps.
because the British upper class love they love the idea of getting down and dirty with the working class, right?
Oh.
So they will always go to these
Slumming it.
yes, exactly.
Oh, a bit of fun.
Yes. So they will always go to like these really
Oh man.
off the wall, ironically.
And you wonder why they chopped
bars.
off Marie Antoinette's head when she said, "Let them eat cake."
Let him eat
It
cake.
still
Huh?
happens, man.
But no. So he meets Virginia Giuffre at this bar in Tramps, and there's a photograph of him and her cuddling in Ghislaine Maxwell's house in London. Right, and the photos on full display. And so the interviewers asking the most memorable line. The interviewer asks Andrew, right? She's describing how Virginia would go on saying about how he sweated profusely both dancing and during the act of coitus. And
Well phrased.
Apparently.
Fuck,
But
you
no,
are
boys,
so British.
lads,
You are
lads,
so
lads,
British.
Lads, trust
Well,
me.
they were having
You-
coitus, you
but
see.
Do you know what his response was? Do you know what his response was?
No.
Like, for
What
real,
is it?
for real.
For real.
Okay. He said that he doesn't have the ability to sweat because of a medical condition he picked
I
up
remember this.
as
Yeah.
a fighter pilot during the Falklands
Yeah.
War.
I remember that. Yeah. I
Was he
remember.
actually a fighter pilot?
He was. And
Okay.
How?
it's the one highlight of his life.
All
Right?
right.
He was a semi-legit, like,
And he walk around
war
like
hero.
Tom Cruise and Top Gun?
Yes.
Imagine.
Of course he would. Of
during-
course he would.
So the Falkland, we had a brief war in 1982 with the
Argentina.
Galtieri regime of Argentina over a small group of islands.
You do know your history, dude.
Yeah, he knows a lot of stuff.
I'm talking
No,
about you
you
too.
as well.
I'm talking about
Oh.
you too.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
In
Well,
the South
thanks.
Atlantic,
He knows a little bit more.
that are
Whoa.
British possessions. Argentina wanted it. It's been back and forth. They call it Las Malvinas. We call it the Falklands. We had a brief war in 1982. Prince Andrew actually did fight in it. And you know what? Kudos. It's the one highlight of his life. The one semi-decent thing. he's
I
ever
did
done.
something.
Yeah. But he's been a
I was
complete
there.
narcissistic, spoiled brat in
Everything else.
everything else. Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
This
man.
guy.
But no, so
Hey.
the PR woman who advised him not to do this interview, and they did some bizarre rant about how he couldn't have been somewhere because he was taking his daughter to a birthday dinner at some random Pizza Express in Woking.
It's a weak ass alibi, bro.
Yeah, basically.
It's weak.
And-
That's weak, man. Damn.
The
All
the PR woman who advised him not to do this interview, she abruptly quit the next day. And so would I. She was like, fuck this shit. I'm out.
That
I'm
blow-
out.
That blowback
Oh.
will end up on her.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Why didn't you stop him? I did. No, you
I tried.
didn't.
But he threw his teddy bears at me.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh man. Wow.
But no,
Well,
Prince Andrew is done. Who
He's
else?
done.
Who else was named?
Billy
Oh, Billy
Boy.
Billy?
Bill
Yeah,
Clinton.
Bill Clinton.
He's on there
Um,
50 plus times. Is really any? I mean, we all knew his name was going to be around there. No one's really surprised by that name.
The thing is that man,
But
is,
like,
that man
you know.
has been such a dog with women that it's kind of like JFK at this point. Everyone's just like, yeah,
yeah, but
You
not
know.
but underage.
yeah.
You know,
that's-
it's like,
yeah.
hey,
Well,
Let's-
okay, so during
Come
the
on, man.
deposition, one
Let's
of
keep
the-
that in mind. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Well, yes.
I mean, we all knew he was a
Yes,
womanizing
yeah.
philanderer. That
Mhm.
was pretty evident.
But this
know.
this is absolutely abhorrent.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
but it's different when he's going to an island privately
okay. okay,
with
so
15,
I
16,
want to
14-year-olds, God knows how
I
else.
want us to bear in mind because I feel we also need to keep a certain journalistic integrity.
The non-journalists. If journalists aren't being in having integrity, then we non-journalists must have it for them.
Okay, I want to.
Someone's got to do it.
Someone's got someone has to wear the cape.
Be the hero that people deserve.
Yeah, we all gotta just.
All right.
And this builds onto a broader.
I just see like T just like bursting into a room like the Kool-Aid Man. Hey, you're not doing journalistic
That is-
integrity. Hey,
That's just a funny visual. Kool-Aid man.
no, dude, no, but with T's head,
But I just.
and only for journalists. Nobody else. Just journalists. All right, T,
But,
give
but
us
the,
your.
the point I want to make is that one thing that I've noticed about this thus far, and it's something that's I find also a little abhorrent, is a lot of people are jumping on this to already confirm their previous political biases. So a lot of people are like, "Oh, Clinton, yeah, Democrats are dogs. Oh, Trump, yeah, Republicans and the dogs." No,
The individual, man.
no. The focus should be the evil crimes that Jeffrey Epstein has obviously perpetrated, and justice and remedy for the victims. That is what the focus should be, not playing partisan political games.
If there's ever an issue to be non-partisan on, I
It would be
think
this.
it would
You would
be
think. You would
did-
I
the
agree.
diddling
But
of kids.
I
or
have
underage women.
I have noticed a lot of people are doing that, and I don't think that's just.
I hadn't seen that as much, but I don't doubt that it isn't happening.
Mm,
But it is silly that it would be happening
yeah.
because anybody who's got any moral sense whatsoever would just. And I think I would. I mean, this is why the judge in New York released or allowed for the release of all this stuff, because so many people just want to know who the hell was on this list? Like, we all want to know because it's all the it's what you were saying a little bit earlier. Ron was like, it's like people on the list are people that other people look up to in
Absolutely.
some cases,
Absolutely.
and it's just and you need to know about that because you need to have the right types of role models in your life.
Correct.
And no, I don't know if anybody really had Bill Clinton as a role model, but that's a fucked up kid. If that's his, you just imagine a kid, and you walk into his room, and it's just posters of Bill Clinton all over the place.
Honestly,
you'd be like, this
honestly,
kid,
frankly,
this
the same could be said of Trump as well. He's not exactly the sort of person
anybody
you wouldn't want your son to grow up to be like.
No,
and neither
Facts.
of them are, quite frankly.
Yeah, but Trump isn't on the list.
Well, Trump is mentioned. And this is the other thing.
Yeah, but he kicked him out of Mara. I'm not trying to defend Trump, but I mean,
know,
if you're ever going to defend Trump
and,
for anything, at least the fucker didn't go to Epstein's Island and kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago.
Well, yeah,
that says a lot.
It does say
that
says something.
That says a lot because
it's one good thing.
Agreed.
Because there's
he's allowed to have one good thing.
I would also say about Trump is that one of the victims' lawyers, I forget his name, has actually said in an interview that of all the people that they subpoenaed in the civil case, in their civil case against the Epstein estate, he is the only one who ever A, responded, and B, told them, I will sit down for any deposition you need, I will produce any documents you need, because what I get from the descriptions thus far is that Trump is the kind of guy who, on a street level, and I know it's weird to say because he's a billionaire, but he could suss out bullshit and was always kind of sus about this guy.
Well, it wasn't just that.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Dude was
like
macking
that,
on
like that New York state of mind.
Dude, Epstein was macking on a member's daughter in the club.
Yeah, I've heard that as
and
well.
And Trump was like, nah. This
Fuck
is the
you.
story that is being told. Yeah. And he's like, we don't do that here, basically, and kicked him out. Also, when you have a bunch of other people, I mean, whoever's daughter, I mean, that dude was obviously better friends with Trump as well, right? No, not Epstein. The guy's daughter. Whoever the guy is whose daughter Epstein was macking on. Yeah, but that guy was probably was more important to Trump, obviously.
But I also get a sense that
regardless of that.
Well,
the main point is there's a bunch of people on here that we should and there's more information that's going to come out ideally over a period of time. But so many people are trying to keep it under wraps.
Who, when I heard his name,
who's some more? Who's that person that broke
my heart that he was apparently not just on this island, but was named multiple times. Stephen Hawking.
I knew you were gonna say.
I forgot.
The midget thing is false. So the midget thing is fake.
What?
The midget thing is fake.
What midget thing?
Are you guys not? Do you guys
no,
not see this?
We're not aware. What is the midget?
Let us know,
please.
There was like some fake news that came out that in the Epstein documents, someone said that Stephen Hawking used to like to watch midgets get naked and solve complex math equations. You guys didn't see this.
Oh my god!
I don't. I don't.
But you know who I'm really disappointed through all of this? Actually, is the BuzzFeed Corporation.
BuzzFeed,
because never in the history of their existence has there been a better time for them to write like a listicle.
Oh,
right? No,
that has been true.
Oh
it
my
has
god!
Been weirdly challenging to figure out exactly who was on this list and for what. There has been. I mean, from my Googling at least, maybe you guys are better at
this. Is screaming out for BuzzFeed lists.
Yeah, I have found no clear, simple source of information on this that says, here's the list of people, here's a 2-sentence blurb about what they did.
Because there isn't a list.
No, it's an incredibly long document.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I started looking at it.
Could have read through it.
There isn't a list.
It's not just it's not just a list of like
that's just what people. That's just what it's being called.
Yeah,
it's called a list,
because people have it stuck in their heads about Epstein's little black book with clients listed and everything.
But he was blackmailing,
but
scheming.
But all this is legal documents from one civil suit. So that's deposition transcripts. So I don't want to make. Do you guys know what a deposition is?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to lie. I just want.
Thanks for calling us all dumb.
Okay.
Fucking asshole.
That was exactly what I was trying to avoid.
Really?
But you still accomplished that.
Yeah,
You still did it.
He still did it. Yeah.
You still did it.
We
Come
know
on.
So
yeah.
appropriate things to do is to just explain
Sorry.
and
Yeah.
move on.
So it's basically it's just a bunch of depositions.
We're gonna edit that
you-
part out.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, we're leaving that in.
You know it is
The
not-
dude who
Hashtag
says he's on the
we're not-
spectrum asking us if we know what a fucking deposition is.
Hashtag we're not dumb.
we know that, like, even though it is not a literal list, even though it is
Aw.
a collection of depositions and documents, right? Like, a list could be distilled from it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
like,
yeah.
this
Yes.
article
You could
could
figure
be
out
from.
names.
Yeah, but
from
okay,
it,
so,
Yeah, but
this is where people have
some-
to be careful because the thing is, like, just because you're mentioned in these documents doesn't mean
It's alleged.
you are on the island doing.
It doesn't mean
shady
you were
shit.
diddling
That's
people.
why it's a listicle, not a list. It's like a list with a little explanation. So and so is named, offhand as someone that wasn't there, right?
Yeah, because so the vibe I get was that, as well as being like absolute evil scum, what these two people were, Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein, were just like the biggest pair of grifters who have ever grifted.
Yeah.
And so
That we know of.
Yeah.
okay, so take and it's
Please add that asterisk.
that we know
That
of.
we know of.
Yes. So
What here's the biggest thing about all of this is the fact that we now know this has happened and that these two people perpetrated this and had this whole thing going on just opens up the door, or it should, for any rational thinking person, that this could be happening anywhere else with all of the, who knows how deep these rabbit holes
Absolutely.
and these things go. To not at
Absolutely.
least
Absolutely.
consider that some of these things that people would say are
This can't be
fringe
the-
conspiracies
Can't be the only.
aren't actually maybe
only
a little
island.
bit truthful, right?
This can't
like,
be the only island.
I'm not
No.
saying QAnon
It's
and Pizzagate is
Eyes Wide
real,
Shut,
but
Can
Can I
Eyes
propose
Wide
You have to
Shut,
at least-
Eyes Wide
you at
Open.
least have to be like, maybe. You don't have to believe it's true, but you have to at least go, if this could happen, then maybe
Facts.
this could happen.
Yeah.
Am I right? Or
Yeah,
am I
agree.
right?
I agree totally.
All right.
Absolutely.
I'm not crazy, right? Okay.
No, what this scandal is that this scandal is the epitome of the collapse of the Western elite classes in our time.
No, it's
it's a
not.
perfect. Yes, it is. It's the
No, it's
perfect.
not.
It's the perfect analogy of it.
No, how?
Because if you had said to me 10 years ago that there was a random island in the middle of the Caribbean where members of the British royal family and former American presidents were having orgies of underage girls, I would have called you insane.
Well, that would be your
but-
problem.
But
And there'd be a lot of people that probably think that would be real.
But the more that this scandal has gained momentum and has gained steam, it's the scandal that has opened. It has made people culturally aware that these kinds of scandals unique to the elite class exist, and it started making people start asking questions about other things that we used to accept of our cultural and societal betters. You're not that special, actually, are you?
Well, it turns out.
Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Turns out.
It's this that has started making people think about what the fuck else have you been doing?
Turns out human trafficking isn't just reserved for Albanians in the movie Taken, where Liam Neeson has to come save
No.
his daughter.
So
right?
here's a question for you guys.
But even then, there was elites who were part of it,
Do you-
who ran it.
Yeah.
Do you
so.
think that the Epstein thing and his island and whatever, do you think that within the like illicit trafficking community this was like a big thing, or do you think this was like the tip of the iceberg?
Tip.
Ooh,
I think it was his own thing.
ooh, expand on that, Ron. You think it's just the tip?
I mean, the trafficking is going on everywhere.
Mm.
Yeah.
This just happens to be his version of it. You know,
That's what I'm saying.
His own little set.
Yes.
his own thing. But the whole trafficking, I mean, that's going on everywhere.
I was telling you My fiance and I, we were watching what was the British girl in Portugal?
Madeline McCann.
That's the one.
Yeah.
We were watching the documentary about Madeline McCann, the investigator from Spain. That I think he was from Spain. I don't think he was Portuguese. I can't remember if he was Portuguese. Whatever.
That was dark.
But he was
Spain.
like, he was
Spain.
basically like, I can't ever do that. I've seen things I can never see again. He got into like that black market of all that stuff, and he was like, there's more of it, and it's. I mean, honestly, the movie Taken is probably legit kind of how it's done. Like the French guy in that movie is basically Epstein, right? I mean, think about it. He's the guy who facilitates the auction. I mean, the difference is that Epstein brought people to an island, and that's an auction. But I mean, there's something like that is probably happening.
Another good resource, and
it's crazy. And then you got that movie like The Sound of Freedom.
That
came out. I still haven't seen it.
And another one.
They tried so hard to stop that movie.
Oh
yeah,
from
they went after the dude.
They originally made it in like 2018,
absolutely.
and they haven't been able to release it till now.
Right.
And it was only for an independent film because everyone in Hollywood didn't want to
touch it.
This subject.
They didn't want to touch it because they're I don't know, part of it.
Yeah, of course.
For sure.
Say your shit, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Well, but that's
they all know.
We know that stuff has been going on in Hollywood for a long time.
When you see who they go after to try and silence, then you know what you should see that as what's really the up and up if you're really got your eyes open and your ears open to stuff.
Another great film in popular culture about this subject. Have you seen the film Zola?
No.
It's one. I think it was one of the first main films out of the independent film company A24.
A24.
Yeah. They got some great.
They
shit.
do.
They do. This is one of their. I think this was one of their first crossover, got some kind of mainstream success. It has Elvis Presley's granddaughter, and it's about human trafficking in the stripper industry down in Florida.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the backdrop. But it's also got Cousin Nick from Succession in it. But it's
shout out to Cousin Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh?
No, I'm just fucking.
Also, Cousin Vinny.
Isn't Cousin Greg? You mean?
Cousin. What did I say?
Cousin Nick.
Yeah. Oh, Cousin Greg.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah,
we're all
Greg.
saying just whoever.
We're just saying shit.
Yeah, whatever cousin you have out there. Shout out to them.
Shout out to Cousin.
Bring your own cousin.
But that's another great film to watch on this subject. But
well, speaking of people that say what's on their mind and are not afraid to let it all out there about what's going on in Hollywood and everything. Katt Williams had a hell of a podcast. Shay Shay.
Yeah.
Good old Shannon Sharpe. Shay Shay.
He like broke the internet.
I didn't even know his nickname was Shay Shay. I didn't even know that was a thing. People were just like, "Oh,
Shay Shay.
Williams on Shay Shay," and I was like, "Who the fuck is Shay Shay?" And I was like, "Oh,
Shannon Sharpe.
Bro, he's had some interesting people.
Obviously, I didn't grow up
He's
here.
really blowing up.
Can you give me some perspective on who Shannon Sharpe is and why he's such a big deal?
He's a former NFL player, played for the Denver Broncos, finished his career with Ravens.
Did he win a Super Bowl?
Did he win a Super Bowl with the Broncos? No.
Man in the corner, look that up for us, please. Did Shannon Sharpe win a Super Bowl? I don't remember.
I'm on it.
But he's an All Pro. He's a Hall of Famer.
Okay, so so he's
got credentials.
Yes, 3.
Right.
3? Yeah, I thought he would have won a bunch.
1998, 1999, 2001.
Huh.
Wow.
My bad.
With the Broncos?
What position was he?
Ravens.
With the Ravens?
What position was he?
Tight end.
I can't Google this fast.
Okay. So is it tight? Okay. So correct me if I'm wrong. Tight end, is that like kind of half a wide receiver, half a running back?
I mean, if you had to. So okay, put it like this. I got a better way. He's their tight ends is a bigger wide receiver. That's your biggest target on the field.
Okay.
They block for running backs.
For running backs, correct.
And they also
when you need that first down, you need those yards. You go to that big guy.
Throw it to the big guy.
Right. Okay.
They're always like 6 foot. Most of them are like 6'5" plus.
Yeah.
A lot of them played basketball before.
He's Diesel.
So
he's a big dude.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
a big,
Yeah, Shannon Sharpe is a big
dude.
dude. He's in phenomenal shape still.
Oh,
yeah.
dude,
That's
crazy.
apparent.
He's a truck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
he is a truck. He's a Ford truck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He don't take no shit either.
Yeah.
No, I mean, so what I gathered from this, Katt Williams, and correct me if you think I'm wrong here. Katt Williams, in my opinion, because I also knew him in England, he has that kind of reach.
He's done phenomenally well. Everybody, lots of places know who Katt Williams is.
I think he is the most. I think he's the most naturally gifted comedian to come out of the United States over the past, say, 20 to 30 years.
Dave.
That's an argument one could make.
Yeah,
there are a lot of very talented comics.
Okay, so either that or he's in the top 5.
Ooh.
You say naturally, just get. I mean,
I don't know about top 5.
But clearly he's very talented.
He's extremely talented.
I might give. What would you say? I put him in like maybe top 25.
You said the last 20 years. I mean, I'll put Katt Williams. I'll put him top 10.
Yeah, I could.
I put him
in top 10.
I put him top 10.
Particularly some fact that he does a lot of his stuff independently.
Yeah, and the fact that he is. I mean, he is pretty much all independent. I mean, he pretty much handles all of his own stuff because I mean, he's been canceled so many times because
Why is he canceled?
Because
he calls out the Illuminati.
He
Am I wrong?
exposed. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're not.
Yeah, pretty much.
He is pretty. Yeah.
So he just no fucks are given.
No fucks. I mean,
bro, he
no
does not
fucks.
pull
It's like,
punches.
yeah, he does not hold back. I mean, this is why he was on Shay Shay, exposing
everybody
his truth. I mean, and you know these
everybody.
Like
he held back for no one.
He didn't hold back. I mean, he doesn't know how to hold.
No,
back.
he doesn't. No.
Because from what I've gathered thus far, he was basically first of all, he was calling out every one of his fellow kind of mainstream successsul comedians.
Well, that's the difference. See,
this basically ripping off.
But see,
his
this
jokes.
is here's the thing. He's not mainstream. That's the point, right? Like you said, you have to be careful. You said he's calling out. What I think you said, fellow mainstream. He's not mainstream. No, that's the whole point. He's completely independent. He's not mainstream.
I think Katt Williams is pretty mainstream.
So okay,
no, he's
he's mainstream, but he's just not like commercial.
He's not owned.
Oh yeah,
you know
I accept. Yeah. I go with that. I go with that.
Oh wait, he's got 12.
He's got plenty of them.
He's got 12.
So many specials.
Like 12. I want to
but like
12 Netflix. Yeah, he's got 12.
Really?
That was part of his argument when he was on Shay Shay. He was talking about how who was he talking about? Faison. And he was saying how it's easy to have a network special or a Netflix special. And he was like, I got 12. He's like, no, I'm sorry. Correction. I think he's talking about Cedric the Entertainer. He's had 2. And, you know, he basically said they weren't, he's like said it trash, you know. You know what I'm saying? So he has the material. He's shown and proved his stuff sells out. So
other people rip him off. That's his argument. I've heard Steve Harvey was mentioned.
Yeah, Steve Harvey. He mentioned everybody. Kevin Hart, Steve Harvey, Chris Tucker. He mentioned He mentioned the whole thing Dave Chappelle mentioned on Oprah a long time ago about black dudes having to wear dresses and that whole shaming tactic thing. And the whole basically just called out. He's like, if I could sum up one major point he said on Shannon Sharpe's podcast was, every major comic you're seeing, particularly a black comic in general, has basically sold out. And how you said, it's basically sold his soul to be able to be where they're at right now. The only one that was suspect to me was Steve Harvey's, because I mean Steve Harvey tells his story about how he was broke as shit, and then he went and did his thing, and then he got on TV and everything. But then everything after that to continue to progress higher and higher.
But then Katt was saying how he wasn't broke. Like he was saying that he was getting paid like $3,000 in cash at these shows, and he was saying that everybody else wasn't getting paid like that. So
you
know,
really, whose story do you want to believe? is really kind of the
But
sitch.
yeah, and that's the thing though. But for Cat to expose all of these, his truths, maybe it is the truth because no one that's responded has come out and said that he lied.
Yes,
No one has said that,
that's the tricky bit.
you full of shit, you're lying, I'm gonna sue the fuck out of you if you say this again, I'm gonna sue you for slander, stop putting my name out there. None of them said anything remotely close to that. They can lawyer up real fast and get a
Yeah,
gag order on him.
Yeah.
But no one has said that. So it kind of makes you look at him like, damn, Cat might really be onto something. So, I mean, and from just watching the interview, I mean, he's calm. His demeanor is very calm. He's very calculated. He chooses his words very carefully. I mean, it comes off like a person that is definitely telling the truth, And then when you look at he's talking about this joke, like he said, it's his best joke. I think he was on like Comic View, and he ended off one of his sets with this joke. And he said it takes about 3 minutes to set it up, but once you get going, it's like punchline, punchline, punchline. It's about him parking a car.
Oh yeah.
Oh
And-
yeah, that's the one I saw.
And he said, said the entertainer stole that joke from him. And, and I saw a clip, and the videos of them performing the joke was like side by side.
Yeah.
So it's like, I
I've
mean,
seen these side by side.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
he's
yeah.
saying that, he didn't steal it, but he was there when he performed it and came backstage and told him how he liked the joke so much. And he gave props to Mark Curry, who's another comedian. Mark Curry also says that Steve Harvey stole material from him. And Mark Curry helped Cat make the joke even funnier. So, excuse me, that's something that Cat is really like passionate about. Like that was he said that's his joke. And for said the entertainer to not acknowledge that joke and claim it like it's his, he's very upset about that.
Well,
And for good reason. If he
absolutely.
for sure.
That's his intellectual property.
Yeah.
If you look from and I understand, like it's like when music artists get pissed off that people rip off their riffs.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Like I mean between Vanilla Ice when he ripped off that's my
Queen.
Police.
Queen and David Bowie.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
David Bowie. David Bowie. David Bowie.
It was, yeah,
He was
David,
just like, theirs goes dun 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 dun. Ours goes dun 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 dun.
Same melody.
Yeah.
It's literally the same melody,
it's
dude.
basically the same.
One of the funniest things
Yeah, that was
I've
funny.
ever seen.
Correct.
Yeah. No, it's difficult because you can, like, I've seen a lot of jokes from some comedians, and it's very similar to another comedian's joke, but they change it a little bit in a way where it's not the same. But you're like, oh, no. Like I've seen that. But in the comedy world, stealing jokes stealing jokes ended Carlos Mencia. It basically ended Amy Schumer. Like all these people have like
Who did
those
Amy
people.
Schumer rip off?
Everybody. Like Joe Rogan called her ass out, I'm pretty sure, and a bunch of other people.
Wow.
Joe Rogan also destroyed Carlos Mencia. Joe Rogan just be out here just taking bodies.
Yeah, that was another one.
on the
because,
comedy.
like,
He
because Katt
This
Williams,
guy has just stolen this.
Katt Williams even called out Joe Rogan for not having him on his show, and then Joe Rogan was just like, "Bro,
Bro,
I
you can
think
come on anytime.
You got any time, man? I'll make this happen because you're one of the best comedians ever."
I don't think Joe
You
Rogan
know.
would have ever been opposed to Katt Williams.
No,
coming
I
on
I
his
don't think
show.
so.
I
Yeah.
think-
Yeah, there's no
I think, no, he totally would have had him on, or
Yeah.
still will have him on at some point. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure. But I mean, it was just interesting hearing him just firing off shots.
And that's how he is,
at
though.
everybody. I love it. I've gone down the rabbit hole watching Katt Williams videos of him just ripping on people, and it was an interesting few hours of down the YouTube rabbit hole of him
Oh,
just
yeah.
talking about the Illuminati and all the people in it and all the people who sold their souls and all that stuff to everything. But you listen to him and you're like, this guy has to be right. He just has to be.
This guy's onto something.
He's got to be,
It's so much going on. Like a lot of stuff is just happening, or at least starting to uncover, with the whole, Diddy situation, and
Yeah.
it's just a lot of stuff going on, and then for him to say this, and he's been saying this. It's not like he just came out the blue. He's been saying
just to get some
So
bread.
has he been saying this about Diddy like all the way back like in the 90s even?
I don't know.
You know,
I don't
we'd have to do some
know.
serious
I don't know
research
if
to
he's
see,
been
but-
saying stuff like that all the way back in the 90s, but I mean, the whole Diddy stuff is really
Yeah, because bro, I gotta be real, bro. Like
Man.
the public perception I've always had of Diddy is that I'll be missing you, and then when I like with the arrest of the potential hitman of the Tupac hit, I really went because I loved Tupac growing up, man. I really went
who
down
didn't?
I really went down the rabbit hole
Mhm.
of this whole thing. I'm like, did he? He was every bit as gangster as Suge, according to all of these people.
Oh, he's he's
The difference was Suge was just in your face about it,
and
but
yeah,
Diddy
Diddy's behind.
carefully constructed a whole PR.
He's behind. He's in the shadows the way he can. His reach. And yeah, people are really, really, really afraid of this dude. Because of the people that he know, and he's the gatekeeper for the game. You know what I'm saying? So I mean,
Well, I mean, if you think about it,
he controls your career.
yeah, and if you think about it, Suge has been in prison for how long now? Like,
It's been a minute.
yeah, it's been a minute. It's
been a minute, and he's gonna be in there for a minute longer.
Yeah,
Yeah, no
yeah.
kidding.
Death row is gone.
Oh, yeah, it's gone.
And you think to yourself, well, did he like the Machiavellian genius of all? like you know what I'm saying?
I mean, it appears so. There's also a weird video of him with Bieber or something. Is that him? And it's just like
it's very awkward.
It's weird,
real awkward,
man. It's
real
very
awkward,
weird.
real
It's
awkward.
awkward. He's out there with Bieber and showing him a car and being like,
Saying you
"Oh,
gonna have this
wow, I'm gonna
mansion."
have it." Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just,
as in
you know, you're
Justin
just like,
Bieber?
Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber,
Yeah.
dude. It's
He bought him a car.
He said he was gonna get him.
Yeah,
car.
it was just an awkward video. You're just like,
Exactly.
it could be harmless, but also you're just watching it. And you're just like, I don't know, man. There's some weird stuff going on. It's just the whole thing is like everything about those industries and everything now is just very haram.
Suspect, man.
It's so haram.
It's
It's just yeah. No. I mean, to quote unquote make it.
Make it.
It's
like, yeah, what are you making? Like,
Yeah.
what are you actually
do?
getting? What do you got to do to get
What do you
that
gotta do
success?
to get there? What are you actually getting?
The fame?
Is it worth
really
it?
worth it?
Hence why everyone thinks you have to make.
Plenty of
essentially
people
make a
said
deal
it's
with the
not.
devil to get anywhere.
Well, Bob Dylan said he did it direct. Remember that?
Yeah, and that will go.
I mean, he might have just been high, but
goes back to.
Hey, he was on 60 Minutes when he said that too.
I
Man.
know he was on 60
Like,
Minutes.
that's-
It's
that's-
whoa!
Oh,
Whoa!
yeah, Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
No, you're right. He literally said.
He's like, who would come up with these lyrics? Who would ever think of these things? You're right. That's why we thought you were a fucking genius.
The original.
Nobody would think of this.
Goes back to the original selling your soul myth in the history of popular music and Robert Johnson and the
Crossroads.
Yeah.
Yeah, that story.
I've gone down the rabbit hole on that
That
story.
story
as well.
is crazy, man.
Yeah.
They said, he was like awful.
Yes.
He was awful.
And then he comes back.
And he comes back and
it's like and he's the best guitar player in the Mississippi Delta.
Yeah.
And it was like, how the fuck
How
where
did
did
you
this
do
come
that?
from? Yeah.
I just
Also
spent
the
hours and hours
Yeah.
playing guitar until I
Also
got to
the
be the
first
best.
member of the 27 Club.
Yeah, there's a club of 27-year-olds that just
He was the first
passed
one of that.
they just unalive.
Yeah.
Well,
apparently his was he got into it was a fight over a girl.
What a way to go.
Yeah.
What a way to
and someone
go.
poisoned him apparently.
Oh.
The classic
Some
classic
jealous
old
jilted
poisoning
lover.
because you
Yeah.
like a girl trick,
Yeah.
eh?
Yeah, he fell for the
He
poison
fell for that
Boys,
party
bro-
favor again.
Bros before hoes.
all day.
Bros before hoes. Just say it.
Oh
Man.
God, hilarious! Oh man, yeah, just so much so much stuff being said, so much shade. But the biggest thing that I like that you said, Ron, was that the people have come out and said stuff, but nobody has directly said, "Hey, that's slander. Stop saying that. I'll sue you." It's kind of just been like, "Hey, man,
Yeah.
Hey, stop saying that."
What
It's like,
begrudging
what?
acceptance?
Hey,
It's as if all the handlers said, "You gotta say something," and like they all just
And they
went
all
out
was
to say
like-
something.
What do I say?
Yeah,
They all had their
True.
PR teams like carefully staged.
Man, them PR teams need to quit. Like Andrew's PR girl, because they didn't
Dude, sometimes
they didn't
it's not
they didn't
worth it.
accomplish they didn't accomplish anything.
Same question: is the money worth it to be the PR person for these people? I mean,
No.
some of these people do
No.
some crazy shit,
Man, I would hate
and if
to.
it ever got leaked out, that
Yeah.
person's earning their money.
And there's no amount of focus group messaging that's going to get you out of this one.
No.
There's no,
As
there's,
Sandra is
there
finding out
is
right
not
now.
enough time in this world and in your lifetime of community service that they can do to make up for some of the
You
shit
know what I'm
they've
saying?
probably done.
Yeah.
They cannot pick up enough trash at all on the highways to really give back to society what they have taken from it.
No, they can't. No.
Not at all.
No,
It
not at
is
all.
not
Not at
possible.
all.
But yeah, so another speaking of people who probably should be doing community service, Jimmy Kimmel and Aaron Rodgers have had a bit of a tiff recently.
Yeah.
That's like those are just two people that you wouldn't think that would be at odds with each other.
Right? Like you wouldn't. Yeah, I mean, we all know Aaron Rodgers a bit.
He is.
I know you're a Packers person and you probably still like him, but he's just a weirdo.
Aaron
with the-
Rodgers.
I was
always
immunized,
number
and now
12. Okay.
he's just a weird.
He's weird.
dude.
He's talented as hell, but he's
Obviously,
weird.
he's one of the best quarterbacks of all time. But
You
weird.
can very much tell that he's from California.
Oh, it's
Oh,
all coming
no.
out now. It's really his
There was-
Cali-
it's not just his taste in women, the California hippie girls that he obviously loves.
I mean, he did
Well,
date Danica Patrick.
yeah,
She's
Danica.
very far from hippie
Yeah,
girl.
she's not hippie.
When she drives race cars.
And
really?
oh yeah.
Olivia
He
Munn.
dated Danica
Olivia
Patrick?
Munn
Ooh.
is not a hippie.
Olivia Munn was
Fire.
Yeah.
Woo!
This must have been like pre me coming to America. Aaron Rodgers. I did not know he dated Danica Patrick.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's
sure
got a
did.
very illustrious dating rap sheet,
Career.
if you will. Yeah, career.
He's got a
Sure.
good list.
He's got a list.
He's got a list.
Yeah, he's got a list.
Yeah.
No, I've heard some stories about him though that he may not be 100%
The
on
whole
the up and up.
the whole dark room thing that he's got his dark retreat. Like it's just
He's
just let the people know what's up. Like he go and
smoking ayahuasca.
ayahuasca and his
Whatever
dark
you do with that,
retreat
I don't
and
even know.
Like, okay, the hilarious thing.
Come on, man.
He hugs trees.
Come on, man. It's
Talks
like
to them.
The hilarious
Allegedly.
thing. The hilarious thing about that story is it's as if he's trying to make it out that the Green Bay Packers hadn't already decided to move on by the time he went to his bloody dark room retreat. Do you know what I mean? It was pretty obvious at the end of the season when the Lions knocked us out before there was even any place to be knocked out of, that they had come to the decision that you're 39 years old, you've had a broken rib and a busted thumb. We have little Jordan Love right here. It's time to move on.
But then he did that like 2 off seasons in a row, didn't he? When he just kind of held the franchise hostage with his
and we had finally
with his decision.
yes,
It's like
yeah.
the writing was on the wall at that point. I'm sure the Packers was like, all right, man, you know what? We got this kid. We need to see what he can do.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
that was basically what happened, and they had enough of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
more power to him. And now
Yeah.
he's the Jets' problem.
That-
Just like all
that he
just
is.
like it's just
with all the
gonna be
other
a
problems
trend.
with the Jets.
Do you know what
Yeah.
I find utterly hilarious about that? Was the day after he got his injury, I saw this meme, and it was just like every Jets fan, right? It's just like every Jets fan, Jets, we finally have
a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Old as hell.
And it was just
old as hell.
It was just a cloud that was just shaking. God.
That's funny. That is so funny.
That's awesome.
That is hilarious.
That's pretty great.
That's not the first time.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I kind of feel that way being a Bears fan, man.
But that's not
True.
the first time we've passed
Man.
on an aging, past his best quarterback,
Brett?
the New York
Yeah,
Jets.
y'all did. Y'all let
Favre
Brett.
went there
Y'all
as
let
well.
Brett. Y'all let Brett go. Or
Yeah,
Brett.
yeah.
You know what he also is passing? He's passing shade to Jimmy Kimmel. Is what he's doing.
Ooh,
Passing
nice.
shade.
What did he do?
I heard something on the radio today on Bears radio. Actually, this guy was actually clarifying the whole scenario.
What happened?
So from my recollection, Jimmy Kimmel said some shit about Aaron Rodgers about the whole Epstein list and that whole thing.
Sorry, say that again.
Aaron Rodgers was saying that he wants to see the Epstein documents in the list.
Yeah.
And Jimmy Kimmel said something that got misconstrued by Aaron Rodgers. And then now that the list is real and coming out, Aaron Rodgers made some comments about Jimmy Kimmel being on said list. And apparently Aaron Rodgers had misunderstood what Kimmel was trying to say. He wasn't saying that about the validity of a list. It was something else in regards to that or something. And so Aaron Rodgers, again, kind of put his foot in his mouth a little bit. He started with immunizations and then forest retreats and then ayahuasca and now Jimmy Kimmel. And if we've learned anything, you don't want to pick fights with Jimmy Kimmel because for some reason that dude's made of Teflon. And regardless of what that man has done in his past, whatever, he is drinking so much Kool-Aid. He is at all the parties. I don't know if you ever saw the clip when Jim Carrey came out and did all the stuff, and Jimmy Kimmel was about to say awkward as shit.
Yep.
And he was just like,
and
Jim was like, Jimmy,
you know this is how you got this show.
And Jimmy was just like,
what are you talking about?
He's like, whoa,
sorry, say
okay.
this again. So Jim Carrey.
No, Jim Carrey was on Jimmy Kimmel and came out and started doing the Illuminati signs and the tongue out and everything. And just making a whole making a mockery of it. One could argue, was he being legit or was he just mocking in plain sight to be a whole thing? But Jimmy Kimmel was visibly uncomfortable with him doing
I've seen several videos.
Now
of this.
It could just be because he was just like, Jim, what the fuck are you doing? And he's uncomfortable because like, I can't control Jim right now, and we're supposed to be doing a show. That is an argument that could be made. But the bigger argument is how the hell Jimmy Kimmel, with all the stuff that he's done in his past on like the Man Show and ogling women and all this stuff, how he has not been canceled, and one can logically make that argument. It's because because he's the woke pope and he drank the Kool-Aid and he's part of all the groups. So he's one of the mouthpieces for the elites in that group to whatever his audience numbers are now.
Well, that's the thing with pop.
This is the argument anyway. Am I?
No, I've heard this as well. But this is
so Aaron Rodgers says this shit now. Jimmy Kimmel goes all in a huff and a puff like, I'll see you in court there. It's like I'd bet on Aaron Rodgers all day on that one. But Jimmy's got the people.
This is the broader cultural to try a bigger, broader cultural perspective. All of the late night comics now are basically woke popes. And the problem with
Dad is out there on that. It was like 85% or something.
Yes.
Was all, or 80%, something like that.
I mean, even famous comedians like Jimmy Kimmel has openly admitted that he's lost half his audience.
Oh yeah,
because he only goes after half the country and leaves the other half alone. And
which, in all fairness, it's like
whatever. But it's becoming boring because they all do it.
Yeah, but I
You
mean,
know.
they have they have their audience. They just like any entertainer, you pander to your audience that's watching you.
But who is
You find your niche voice and everything, and they do that.
And you
who
feed
is
them.
the audience, or what the network is telling them to say?
You could make that argument as well, but if the whole point is
He's got
they're
writers.
there, yeah, he's got writers. Maybe I mean, again, this is the argument
Because of
that
the writers'
they're just
strike, anyone miss
mouthpieces
them?
for the people at the top. And they're all part of the little. They're all
Do you
all
know what I'm
part of the
trying to say?
cabal.
Like, you have all these writers, they go on strike, no one notices you weren't on TV. I have never watched late night comedy since I've been in the States.
I don't watch TV.
Yeah, you don't watch TV at all right now. So, and even if you
I did, no.
I honestly don't even know who watches them.
No,
but it's very.
I mean,
I haven't watched.
It's not, and they don't have like crazy numbers. It's only like a couple million.
No, and
which really, in the grand scheme of things, is not that much. But
not when you compare it to the glory days of like Johnny Carson or Jay Leno.
Not even close.
No,
Arsenio.
Arsenio. Oh, yes,
for sure, absolutely, way bigger at the time than these schmucks.
It's funny. Magic had a show for a minute. Magic Johnson.
Did he really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
really?
I'd watch
throwback shit, man.
Oh wow, I did not know that at all. But I would watch that. There's got to be clips on YouTube of that.
Yeah, we should pull that shit up sometime.
We should watch that. That'd be hilarious. Yeah, but I can't, So anyway, it's a whole thing. Kimmel said he was going to sue. Now Aaron Rodgers is doing his thing. But he said all this on the Pat McAfee show. And Pat McAfee now has got a big contract with ESPN. He had one, like, talking about numbers. His numbers blow any of those yokels out of the water for sure. And so now Aaron Rodgers said all this stuff on his show. And now McAfee has been coming out recently talking about how everybody at ESPN hates him, hates his show. They're talking a bunch of stuff.
Getting some blowback.
They're trying to sabotage his show now. That I don't know. If
that
this
have been
is
obvious to him before he went there?
Well, I mean his because so I didn't even really know who he was first. I only really started to get attention to him was I saw a clip of him because I don't listen to a bunch of these. I hate sports talk for the most part.
I love sports talk.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a bunch of, at least in America, it's just a bunch of people saying a bunch of nonsensical facts that mean, really, like, I feel like a hillbilly. Have you seen, like, there's, like, the one guy, I forget which NFL show he's on, and he comes on after, and he'll be showing fucking graphs and stuff, and he's such a goober. He looks like a Harry Potter reject, and he just, I don't know what his name is, but he comes and says, "Oh, if you look at this, 3 weeks ago, the Titans had this percentage of chance of making it, and now look at they're down here." It's like, well, obviously, asshole, when you lose games, your percentage goes down. What the hell stats are you telling me, bro? What are you talking about? Well, before this, C.J. Stroud had a 73% chance of throwing 3 touchdowns, but then he threw 4 touchdowns, which was a 32% chance. It's like, what are you telling me? These stats mean nothing. They mean nothing, you fucking goober. So it's like, I feel like most American sports talk is like that, where you just, like, you say so many stats.
They do seem to
it's
shout
too much.
At each
Dude,
other.
like, think about British soccer. Like, the commentary for that stuff is just like, well, who's going to win the game today? I don't know. I think this team's better, but this team, it's the Premier League. Anybody could win. It's just like, this guy's out, but that guy's out. So, it could go either way, couldn't it?
There's also a lot of banter in
there's so much banter.
It's
fucking wanker.
We
we don't have that in American sports, which we could do more of, I think.
The banter.
It's too nice. Like, think Bears-Packers right now. It's too nice. I went to a game at Lambeau, and we parked in just some dude's parking lot, because just like at the Cubs, they whatever.
Yeah.
And they were just, I obviously have my Bears, so I was like, oh, hey, you got a Bears guy with you there. Oh, he can't park here. Just kidding. Have a good time, fellas. It's just like, what is this? This is not banter. He should be like, get the hell out of here. We don't like your kind here. Go
Jay,
fuck the Bears.
Jay,
nothing. Just too Midwest nice. It's just not the same, dude.
Hey, Jay, you don't mean that, man. You don't want him telling you, like, fuck out of here, man. Hey, we got us. What, man? That's a whole nother thing, Jay.
I know. In Chicago, we would say that.
We say that shit.
We wouldn't do anything, but we would say that.
We talk some shit.
But we don't have, like, clever chants and stuff like they do in British soccer and stuff. And just, everything is just different. The commentary talking about stats and stuff. I
Oh,
don't hear. I don't hear people talk stats.
There was this tweet I sent you once, and it was American chant, defense, defense, defense,
Yeah.
and it was British chant, and it's just like let's let's chant at the opposition goalkeeper about how his dad's how his dad's an abuser to the chant of the Saints
Yeah.
go
That's how
marching
y'all
in.
get down?
Yeah, no,
Bro,
oh
it's
mate,
evil.
like trust me, Ron. If you ever
Some
get
of these
to
chants
go,
are evil.
if you ever get to go to an English football game, you any American, trust me, you will be absolutely appalled
Wow.
by how brutal.
It's brutal, racist. It's bad. It's
Like,
hilarious, but it's bad.
If we smell blood and we smell that the goalkeeper is a little dodgy today, or is just not with it, we will go after him.
It's a bloody
Like
massacre.
Wow.
no, seriously, and then it. Oh god, what gets really ugly is if you start. It is when like things like sectarianism start getting involved with it, and like I was explaining earlier, the biggest football rivalry in Britain by far is in Scotland.
Celtic Rangers, Celtic Rangers.
Celtic Rangers.
Yeah, people go
yeah,
to the hospital before the game.
It's basically if you support Celtic, you're
Man.
Catholic. If you support Rangers, you're Protestant.
Yep.
And it's
like
dark.
old school.
It's
Man.
dark.
Religious
sectarian,
terrible.
and political sectarianism. It's
Damn.
yeah.
It's
Man,
pretty
y'all
wild.
sports is political.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
is.
bro.
Here we just
Man.
like, bear down, go pack, goal.
They probably man, they looking at us
Even
like that
close.
shit lame. They're like,
Yeah,
lame
we're
as
lame
hell.
as hell
Y'all think
over
y'all
here.
tough, huh?
And then oh god, if you
That's
go
crazy.
to places like Eastern Europe and you see half the stadium is just a light and
Yeah.
flamethrowers.
Argentina.
Yeah,
and they have
yeah,
gates
yeah.
and like the whole field is walled off.
And then
With,
Americans are
with stuff.
standing there and they're just like, "What?
I'm having a good time with my beer and hot dog.
What does the rest of
You
You
the
can't
rest of the world
eat.
get
You
about this
cannot
game?"
even eat in soccer games. They don't allow beer. They don't allow food. You just sat there watching. But
Because the difference is when you go to an American sporting event, you're there for the experience. So people are there to like look around the stadium or grab a hot dog and enjoy a day with your friends.
That's true.
You're not necessarily there to watch the game. Otherwise, why the fuck else would you spend $8 to go and see the Chicago White Sox? But like in England,
that's cheap.
and yeah, I know.
That's fun.
But the tickets aren't that cheap because no one goes to Comiskey and they're routinely shit.
What is it? What is it now? Guaranteed rate?
Guaranteed
rate.
right? Yeah.
Ugh.
But
Yuck.
when you go to a game in England, it's going to be packed out, and the people are there to watch the
Everybody
game
goes to the pubs and gets smashed before the game.
beforehand,
And then you
Yeah.
go to the game really messed up, which is why they come up with all the chants. Because
Yes.
they're all blitzed out of their minds.
pissed
but-
out their face.
And they you know what they don't talk about? Bloody stats. I never hear commentary after I watch an Arsenal game. Nobody talks stats.
It's starting to get into football. I'm listening to
It's minimal.
I'm listening to my football podcast now, and they're starting to say things about XG this and XG that, and I say, "Oh,
Yeah,
fuck
but
off."
it's minimal. It's minimal compared to the amount like you would hear on a Pat McAfee show. So Ron, if
yes, American
think
sport
so.
is very
Pat
stat driven.
McAfee was a punter for
Indianapolis,
the Colts or
Yeah.
something, and
Yeah.
then the only time I became aware of really who this guy was, I saw I think he was running a podcast and there's some kid who called in and said like how great the show was, whatever, and they were like, "Oh, thanks for listening." I saw that clip and I saw him.
that was pretty.
That was
sweet.
pretty
I
sweet,
wasn't-
and that was
Aw.
cool.
No lie.
Oh.
No cap, bro. That was pretty.
It was pretty cool. And then there was another, and then I saw him when he was doing before the Bama George game, and he did the whole Georgia chant, and then he ended up saying "psych" and like picked Alabama to win, and then they did end up winning. So the only two reference points I had of him, I had no idea how big his show was, which was
Yeah, it's huge.
independent on like YouTube. Or
Yeah.
something. And so now
Huge.
ESPN has picked his show up
Yep.
because it's so huge.
Mhm.
So everybody's like, "Oh, you sell out, whatever." But I mean, he's getting his money, like as anybody would at some point.
Absolutely. I mean,
feel
it's
like
not too
maybe,
many people would turn that opportunity down.
Yeah, I mean,
you
it's,
know.
he's a former player.
Former player,
ESPN,
still
you
got
but
bills to pay.
because of it, now when you go from, it's different when you're on YouTube, like what we're trying to accomplish here, and you can kind of say what you want to say, and it's your show and you whatever. It's still his show, but now he's got ESPN, which is owned by Disney, isn't it?
Yes.
So he's now running into a whole
Oh, yeah.
swath of issues, and
Yep.
he basically just came out recently, not just because the Rodgers Kimmel fiasco, but also just like he just came out recently just saying that there's a bunch of executives at ESPN that just don't like him, don't like his show, doesn't like what he's about, and definitely trying to sabotage.
He said that?
That was
yeah,
obvious.
He named names.
That was obvious to
Wild.
anyone
Wow.
who'd seen this deal when it first happened. I mean, listen. I have never listened to a full episode of the Pat McAfee show, but he was basically an independent bar stool, if that makes sense. So that was his niche, and I was explaining earlier. The thing is with celebrities like Pat McAfee, maybe because they're not like culturally aware or whatever, because their main focus is on their art and their craft, and his art and craft is sports, obviously. They are kind of, when they become aware of kind of like the cultural leaning of their audiences, they're a little uncomfortable with it. Another analogy with that I said earlier was Bill Burr in comedy, for example. But so he was caught completely by surprise by the fact that his audience, when he signed with ESPN, was just like, "Bro, you're signing with Darth Vader. You're with the Empire, bro."
That's funny.
And he didn't get it. And
he got it now.
But everyone who saw the deal at them, because the thing is, ESPN and their parent corporation, Disney, are an absolute mess right now. Bob Iger is trying to sell ESPN off to the highest bidder, and no one is taking it.
Nobody wants that.
ESPN has lost through competition through streaming. Some would argue cultural biases of their staff or whatever, that ESPN has lost the mantle of the number one name in sports.
Yeah, they've been falling off for a minute.
Yeah, but and everyone has been aware of it.
I mean, like,
I don't watch TV.
Well, exactly.
But
point taken. I don't watch ESPN.
I used to love ESPN.
Everybody used to love ESPN. They had the clever commercials, and everybody went there. And now I'm like, I could give two shits.
But what I gather from ESPN, because I didn't live here during their glory days.
Is just Disney just destroy everything?
Well, no, it's that they were the CNN of sports.
They destroyed Star Wars. They destroyed Marvel.
If there was a major sports story breaking, you went to ESPN.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Disney bought them up. But now Disney is falling apart, and Bob Iger is trying to sell them to the highest bidder. No one is taking them. So they need to rejuvenate their talent. So they go to Pat McAfee. But so in summary, the parent corporation's in an absolute mess. Half the people there probably didn't want him in the first place, and are being forced and having him forced upon them because the ratings are shit and they need views.
Didn't he wasn't he running something else and then he came back or something? Bob Iger? I thought that
they switched. Okay, so here's the problem, right? This was very famously and hilariously discussed, explained in a recent special of South Park, right?
Where you really can get your best news.
It's like
you get your news from South Park.
Get your news from South Park.
Once you get roasted by South, because the thing is, no matter whether it's the left or the right or whatever, South Park gives zero absolute.
Oh, they just take the piss out of everybody.
And they will go after anything.
It's amazing.
Right.
The best.
So basically, their premise about what's happened is Disney is that they've had I figured her name off the top of my head. Anyway,
Madigan.
Huh?
Star Wars lady.
Yeah.
Kathleen Madigan.
Kathleen Madigan. Okay. So she is like super woked up. So the most treasured intellectual property in the history of in American history.
Okay.
So the Disney franchises. So for example, they've had to reshoot an entire live action of Snow White because the dwarves weren't actually like only one of them was actually like a little person,
Oh wow.
and the rest were
It's
like
fraud.
yes, and the rest were like big, like
Oh, you're talking about Snow White?
yeah, the Snow White remakes.
The one movie that dwarves can fucking get in, and they didn't. They had one,
and they had one.
and all
Shame on
the,
them.
the dwarf community comes out and is just like, what the fuck, man?
This
literally
this
is written about us.
This was clearly the part we were born to play.
We are also
Like,
we are
Clearly.
also a diverse community.
Clearly.
yeah.
We are very small in number
And so
and
the
in stature,
and
and
so-
you can't.
Can't give us a
and
bone.
you can't take yeah.
Yeah,
And
so
so
it's-
Can't give us a bone.
like
yeah, or throw us an apple.
basically, not all of us can be
Whatever
Peter,
is gonna help.
basically not all of us can be Peter Dinklage, right? and so all so six of these little people were actually quite big, and they were all kind of like multicolored, and they just and then to top it all off, and then to top it all off, the Snow White, the lady, the girl, the woman who I forget her name. She was supposed to be playing Snow White. She gives an interview on the red carpet when she's just like, it's not 1934 anymore, and Snow White is a strong, independent woman, and and the blowback.
she changed her tune right quick.
The blowback was so bad. It was so bad that they had to
Oh.
reshoot this entire film. So how many hundreds of millions of dollars? Could you imagine the CGI on that shit? Like,
Yeah,
so
it's a whole it's a thing.
yes.
No, they're trying to resurrect it, I think, because they're having her going like an apology tour.
They've had to refilm it, but no,
she's been reformed.
and so the other intellectual property that Disney are now own to Star Wars, right?
You're right.
They've had that.
But nothing really has been learned because they went and hired this like really ultra feminist I forget the nationality director, and again the blowback from because Star Wars fans are like super huge, like
yeah,
they are in it, okay, and it's like Lord of the Rings fans, but like the backlash was so bad, and they were just like and then like on South Park they were just like, Kathleen Madigan, can you just please stop destroying this IP? And that's the premise of the whole episode. And so the whole thing is conglomerated to cause Disney's stock price it's just collapsed over the past year to 18 months. Just utterly collapsed.
Nobody wants to consume their content.
Not anymore.
It's just and that's why they, at least from the ESPN side, went to this. And he's got like what, so primarily more conservative-ish. Is that what you were saying? Conservative?
Bob Iger?
No, McAfee.
Well, not necessarily conservative, but very much bro.
Yeah, bro. Yeah,
bro. You know what I'm saying?
Just bro. I mean, he is bro. He barely wears sleeves on his show. Is what I've heard.
Very kind of Tommy Hilfiger, college bro.
Tommy Hilfiger, college bro.
Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say.
It doesn't really go with the aesthetic of Disney.
The type of lads who probably do fuck a pie in American Pie. That was Pat McAfee's like core.
Alright.
I know what vagina feel like. I fucked a pie. Warm apple pie.
Damn.
God, that was the movie.
I broke a cherry, but it was a cherry pie.
My teenage years, bro. Everyone loved American Pie. And they were just like,
it was the best. You
and
couldn't have those movies now.
So people would watch American Pie and we're just like, do American kids really fuck pies?
Hey man, I hope y'all weren't really thinking that over there. No.
No, we don't.
Sorry,
we eat them.
Obviously
we
not.
eat them.
Obviously not.
Yes.
Yeah, we're well aware you eat them.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
I've eaten a few.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, speaking of sports talk and sports radio and everything, real brief kind of last thing. So the NFL wrapped up its season. We're going in the playoffs. It should be very interesting. There's a lot of interesting things going on. Your dumbass team beat our dumbass team, so you guys are in there with the youngest team. I'm pretty excited about what the Bears offseason is going to look like with the number 1 pick. Are they going to keep Justin Fields? What do you think? I'm just curious what your predictions are for playoffs. Who you think's going to win? Whatever. There's so many topics and things going on with all that, but just really brief. What do you think on the whole Bears, Fields, or draft a quarterback situation for that part? And then what's your prediction for playoffs? Who you think's who's gonna win the Super Bowl?
To be honest with you, I don't think. I don't know. They're collecting data. They're collecting data information right now.
They did say that.
I don't know. I think if Justin would have helped the Bears win, I think that could have helped his chances of staying with the franchise.
Yeah.
I feel like he knows that he could be moved. You can hear it in pre-game. You can hear it post-game. And I think he's pretty much ready to deal with whichever decision is made.
He's just got to just sit back on his couch and just wait.
Yeah, that's all he can do.
He can't do anything else.
I myself, I like him. I like him.
He's a likable guy.
He's very likable. He takes accountability. You get that from him. He's very talented. I don't think he had a fair chance. So I would. I mean, have number 1 pick again. We chose not to utilize that. We traded away for good reason. We got us a number 1.
Picked up a lot of stuff from that. So I mean, I'm not complaining. We got DJ Moore from it.
Absolutely.
Got Darnell Wright from it. Tyreek Stevenson from it.
So
a lot of good players.
It really helped. Hey, CJ looked good though.
CJ Stroud.
Yeah, CJ Stroud looks really good.
He looks like a stud.
He's a stud, man.
He's the one Ohio State quarterback that might actually break.
He's a beast, man. He took the Texans, got them, playoff ready. So I don't know. I think Justin has a 50-50 chance, to be honest with you.
I find that quite tragic because I remember the excitement that every fan had when you drafted him a couple of years ago.
It's cyclical for us. It's cyclical. It just keeps going around.
It's the quarterback situation.
Yeah,
every single year.
It's the quarterback and the offensive line.
Every year.
But that's every team's problem unless you already have a quarterback.
It's true.
The problem for every team is the quarterback unless you already have a quarterback. It's you fuckers over there who seem to have figured out a formula from back in the early 90s.
The formula is very simple.
What is that?
The formula is this. You got lucky because I remember my family told me about the Bears for 30 years after Lombardi were just absolute dog shit. The formula they stumbled
the Packers
upon
after Lombardi were dog shit.
Sorry, I got my mixed. For 30 years after Lombardi, the Packers were just absolute dog shit.
The Packers before Lombardi were also dog shit. It's Lombardi saved your team.
Okay.
I mean, it's historical fact.
That's debatable, but put that aside.
It's not debatable.
Okay. Anyway, so the formula is very simple. We lucked onto a great quarterback in Brett Favre, and what we have done consistently ever since is we've done very well at tracking when they are just past their peak, say 30, 31, 32. We can get another 3 or 4 years out of them.
Sound like Bill. That's like the Patriots, dude. That's Bill Belichick.
It's two. It's not like you've done it 6, 7
times.
No. And it's a you've done it. You did it. You got lucky with one quarterback. And then you got lucky.
Okay, resentful bear shit. Okay, let me finish my point.
It's not resentful. It's just true.
He said resentful bear shit.
We've hit the hat trick because we've hit the hat trick.
That'd be a
Okay,
good name for a brand.
we've hit the
actually.
hat trick.
That
Resentful
is.
bear
We've
shit.
hit the
Resentful
hat
Oh,
bear
that'd be
shit.
good.
We've
Good
hit
name for a
that.
band.
Okay, you hit the hat.
Okay,
Wait, the jury is still out on
No.
Jordan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
jury's still out.
Jury's still out on Jordan.
Why?
He had one
Why?
season, dude.
4,000 passing yards and 32 touchdowns in his
season.
first season as a starter.
He's got a great.
I think that's pretty
put
special.
him on any
And the
other
fact-
team.
And the fact that he was
It's special.
ignored.
It's special.
I mean, it's good.
The fact that he was ignored for the Pro Bowl is just egregious.
No, he should not have made the Pro Bowl. Dude.
Egregious.
No, it's not. It's not egregious.
Of course it is.
Bro, CJ
the
Stroud.
entire
Did CJ
Packers
Stroud make the
team
Pro Bowl?
has just
I don't
been
even know.
ignored.
I don't
didn't
think
pay any
CJ
attention
Stroud
to-
even made the Pro Bowl,
but
dude.
no,
So
okay, but no. What I'm
No.
really excited about, it's not just Jordan Love. It's not just Jordan Love. It's the whole team around him. Christian Watson, AJ Dillon,
that other guy.
Romeo Dobbs,
That other dude.
Romeo Dobbs,
And him.
I forget his name, but we have a core.
The
have
funny
a
thing is, he knows
core.
like hardly anything. He's always like, "Tell me more about American football."
we have
and
a
now he's
core.
out and he's a fucking expert.
Yeah, he's killing him.
We have a core.
You're on your
we have
soapbox.
a core. Okay, Luke Musgrave. We have a core on the offensive side of the ball.
Just naming people off
who
the depth chart.
No. Luke Musgrave was the best rookie tight end this year.
No, he's
Okay.
not. Sam Laporta from the Detroit Lions is the best
okay.
rookie tight end.
No. He's up
You
there.
don't know what the
He's
hell
up-
you're talking
He is.
about.
He's up there. We've got a core. We've got a core on the offensive side of the
The
ball.
only
who
thing
are all coming up
I've
at the
heard
same
you
time.
say is
All coming up
core.
on the same time.
It's core. Are you going to eat a bunch
This-
of apples
this Packers
and get to
team-
the apple
this
core? What the
Packers
hell are you
team-
talking about?
This Packers team is going to be in playoff contention for another decade.
We'll see.
Y'all know it in Chicago. You're
We shall
bitter
see.
as hell because once again we hit.
We're
the
actually
jackpot.
I mean I'm chilling with the number one pick and the future is gonna be interesting regardless. I'd say.
Okay, so do you say use
Right?
that? Do you say use that number one pick on Caleb Williamson?
I think they're going to. That's my guess.
So what does Fields do? Stay as a backup or go?
They're gonna trade him.
No, they trade him.
What best option? Because I would say
Atlanta.
Atlanta is looking pretty tasty for him.
He's
right
from
now.
there. Good weapons. New coach will come in. It's probably best for him. That's where I mean there's some other teams that may want to pick him up. Based off the press conference they had today, I mean, I don't think anything's going to happen till late March, early April, or even right up to the draft.
I mean, it's gonna depend on what the Bears get back in return.
Yeah,
You know, they want they got to fill some holes. So
You got to fill a few. No
Yeah.
offense.
so
we need no.
that's fair.
No. The
It's fair.
Bears, no.
It's fair.
Well, it depends what you mean by few. Bears could use one more really good edge rusher, and they could use another receiver. If you get that, that's really all they need. They got a great tight end. They got DJ Moore. Their running backs are solid. They could use some help on the offensive line, but if they got one more really good edge rusher and another good receiver, they'd be passable. I'd put them in playoff contention if they could do that, 100%. And they still have a bunch of cap space, and they have all the picks. They have the most picks. Bears are sitting pretty right now. I'm okay with it.
I just
be
need them
honest.
to. I just need them to get their shit together.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought last season, I thought Ryan did excellent as
I
far
didn't
as
expect them to be as
putting
bad as
their-
they were this season.
they started off bad. They
and
picked it
arguably
up.
they should be in the playoffs
they
because they were ahead by 10 or 17 points in 3 or 4 games and
they
slipped.
blew. Oh man,
They blew so many leads.
The
Well,
leads
that's
they
the- I mean,
blown.
that
The
swing is
leads
literally-
they
instead of-
blown.
Instead of 7 and 10, they'd be basically 10. They'd be in the playoffs
They
at
would
10
be.
and 7.
Yeah, I mean, they would get that magic
So, I
number
mean-
of 10. Yeah, they definitely on blue. You could think of 3 games right off the back where they were like literally winning, and then they just blew the game.
Yeah.
So they lost some games they should have won.
Yeah, you guys.
They got off to a very slow start,
You guys gave yourself too much room to make up.
or
Yeah,
we
there's too much-
or
there's
we
too much
or
shit that
we
happened.
dug ourselves too deep.
yeah, too
yeah,
many,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Oh, yeah.
too big a hole
Because
to get out of in time.
We couldn't get out the hole in time. Maybe if there was a few more weeks, but yeah, like football, you don't have time to be you lose 4 or 5 games in a row, man. I mean, your season could be over. Like,
Yeah.
you know how hard that is
if it's
to
early
come
in the
back?
season, you
Yeah.
can't. I mean,
From
but
that-
they did. Arguably, they did.
Yeah,
But just not enough.
just not enough.
Just not enough.
Like
They're not there yet.
no,
It's
they're
just-
not. But they
they're
totally
close.
salvaged. I mean, I'm happy how they finished.
Yeah.
You know, because
Yeah.
I thought they was
Well, not against them at Lambeau, but the rest of the games, I was like, they're competitive. They're doing the right thing.
Like, I'm sorry, we never had to get out of second gear. No offense.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad for Justin because that was his game. If he had beaten the Packers at Lambeau, you got a strong argument to be like, oh, this is actually the guy. Keep him. We'll get rid of the pick, and I just don't see that happening. I think they're gonna take.
I would just like
unless it's like the dirtiest haul, because we fleeced the Panthers last year on that pick. I mean, we didn't get C.J. Stroud, but I'm happy with. I mean, we used one of those picks also to get Montez Sweat.
So remind me.
That's a pretty good haul.
Bryce Young is so small.
Did they trade up to get Bryce Young?
He does.
We traded down.
To get Bryce Young, dude. That dude
they went all out for Bryce Young.
Instead of C.J. Stroud, they got Bryce Young.
Well, they went all the way out for the number 1 pick, and they chose Bryce.
By the way, that general manager for the Panthers gone.
Really?
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
After that debacle, you don't deserve to be a general manager.
Comings and goings. Pete Carroll's out the Seahawks.
Yeah, he's out.
But
they said he may still remain with the organization.
He's going to be an advisor for whatever that means.
Okay, so they're going to push him upstairs to be an ambassador.
Yeah.
Nick Saban also retired.
Did he?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yo, I heard. No, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Bill Belichick is going to be out of the Patriots. Some old coaches moving.
They keep saying that, but it just doesn't seem to happen.
Did they officially say that?
No, he's done, man. I would be shocked if they bring him back.
I ask you as Bears fans, this. Who would you rather? Eberflus come back or Jim Harbaugh?
Well, I think every Bears fan would say Jim
Harbaugh
Harbaugh immediately.
Yeah.
I mean, but the problem is Kevin Warren and him may have rocky relationship because he was head of the Big Ten.
Because he's blatantly leaving Michigan.
Not blatantly.
But
he gave him a national championship.
If
anything,
really, it's hard to repeat a national championship. Once you do, it's kind of like
that's not easy.
Time to bounce. Go out on a high.
Yeah, like mission accomplished.
Yeah. What was it? It was Urban Meyer didn't. Remember, he won with Florida, and then he
Urban
stayed.
Meyer.
Actually, they maybe won like one more, but then after that, it went downhill, and he was just like, "I got burned out, and I left."
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough to do. Level. Yeah, especially
you cannot lose a game in college.
You can't. Like, if you're gonna go to the national championship, if you lose a game, it better be one, and it better be against a damn powerhouse.
Yeah,
and you better be close. It better be like a 3. Because all that shit counts in college. You know, it matters who you play, how you lost that game, too.
Yeah.
It's tough. I mean, Nick Saban, I mean, he was killing, back when he was LSU back in the day. And then when he was with Bama.
7 titles.
Man.
It's crazy.
What
happens to Bama now that he's gone, though? Right?
That's a machine.
You think so?
Yeah.
Like plug and play?
That's a plug and play. Whoever's already there has been groomed.
It's just like the infrastructure is set, my young Padawan.
It's set. It is.
Don't fuck up my shit.
Don't fuck up. I mean, that's already that's an NFL. That's an NFL facility right there.
Yeah.
Like
them in Georgia.
All those kids that come out of there, they're going to the league. Georgia, everybody that's in the SEC. They are ready for the league. Clemson, LSU.
I mean, even like Auburn.
Yeah,
although they're a little bit more.
They're ready
now.
So, if you don't mind me asking, because I didn't, because one of the things that I find culturally most American since I've lived here is the concept of college sports. I cannot believe that a bunch of amateur kids is a $1 billion industry.
Yep,
yeah,
they're just now starting to
get paid.
Yeah. That's the amazing thing.
All this time,
all they got was a scholarship out of it. I can't believe that the biggest stadium in the country is Michigan at like 90,000.
No, it's like 108,000, dude. That stadium can fit 108
That's
something
bigger
thousand people.
Than it. What?
It's mind blowing.
Yeah,
even
it's crazy.
for a person who grew up in football in Europe, Like Wembley isn't even that big.
Yeah.
It's
The
stupid.
new
It's a
camp
dude.
isn't that
It's a
big.
religion in some places. Yeah.
Texas.
Texas.
Texas,
It's
yeah.
Texas
Oh,
high
wow.
school football. You're
High
going to the
school
game.
football. I mean, shit shut down on Sundays for high school
Mm.
football.
Mm-hmm.
Those high school
Fridays,
Friday
Saturdays,
night,
the whole weekend. You're
those
done.
yeah.
So Friday's
just doing
high school,
football.
Saturday is college, and Sunday
Sundays
is
NFL.
the
NFL.
professional.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, the high schools down there in Texas and Florida are like universities, man.
Yeah.
They don't fuck around.
Nope.
They
It's a
don't
religion
fuck
there.
No,
around.
I've seen it, and I was just like, it's just mind blown.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm.
it's like all of this for a bunch of like 18-year-olds.
Yeah.
Not
You know?
even. They're younger than that in high
Yeah.
school.
And but
Talking
then,
about 16, 17, and 18-year-olds.
yeah, it blows my mind. And then you look at
Go get him, Scooter!
and then you look at them playing,
Tackle him, Scooter!
and then you compare them to what I saw in England
I don't know
of
why I
kids of the
chose that.
same.
That's a good one, though.
Well, you
That's
know.
good. That's good.
You compare them to what I saw in England with like kids of the same age, and it literally really is just a man and his dog with sweatshirts for goalposts at the fucking local rec ground. You know, you're like...
I don't know what you just said, but
I know, right?
I have no idea what you're talking about, but that was brilliant.
It was just like I'm just like man, like and then
Eating Nando's.
and Britain. And it's always some fat bastard, fucking,
Fat bastard.
like noshing on his sausage roll, being like, "Fucking run, you cunt, run!" And you're just like, "You're as fat as a truck, mate."
Man.
You fucking try and run. You'd have a heart attack in 5 seconds. What the fuck are you talking about, you fat bastard?
You fat bastard. I love it.
What?
It is amazing how some of these large football players are able to move that,
Hey,
like they're able to
You
move.
see that is
Hey.
what has struck me.
Yo.
Some of the, especially the linemen, these are big boys.
They are the best athletes on the planet.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah.
First of all,
All right. I mean,
So-
I would say
soccer
soccer
players.
players. But I
Hold
agree
on.
with you,
Let me-
based on
let me-
Let the man
me-
preach.
let me-
Let the
let me-
man
let
preach.
me-
Yep, okay.
Stop it.
I'm not
Preach ahead,
taking.
Ronald.
I'm not taking
Preach ahead.
nothing away from football
Yeah.
players.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
But American football players, they are. I'll put them number one. Actually, hockey's another beast too.
Mm.
Hockey's a beast.
Oh, did you hear about that player?
Hold on, hold that thought.
Okay.
Hold that thought.
Okay.
Football, those are different. They're just a different breed, man. Like, I mean, those are just tough sons of bitches, man. I mean, the toughness is just next level. You talk about man up. I mean, just think about it. Okay, just think about just the average person. You know what I'm saying? You know, I could get up right now and stub my toe, getting up. You know, that's first play of the game. You jam your finger the first damn play of the game.
Yeah.
What you gonna do? Go tell your coach? He gonna look at you like, okay, next up, you're done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
These guys get concussions and keep that shit to themselves because they don't want to lose their job.
Yeah.
So your level of tolerance for pain is through the fucking roof. So that's number
Because you
one.
have to.
And they're built that way. That's
Yeah.
not, you don't get like that in the pros. You like that shit in fucking high school.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's where it begins.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah.
they just, it's like calcified and shit. You know?
Yeah.
So, and then they're training the agility. Like you just said, you got, you know, these defensive linemen that, you know, sometimes Justin can't turn a corner on these motherfuckers because they right there.
Dude,
Yeah.
there was one clip I saw of I'll remember this. This is so
One needs
wild.
better offensive linemen in that case. But
There was they showed a clip of Kyler Murray when the Bears were playing Arizona, and it was just a shot, and it was I think it was Justin Jones or somebody, and he's just like this, you know, fucking 300-pound defensive tackle, just like running straight at Kyler Murray, And I was like, bro, if I saw that, I'd just shit my pants. I can't. This 300-pound dude is about to sack my ass.
Yeah.
It'd be like a guy a little bit bigger than you just running at me full speed, looking angry for no reason. I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. I'm holding a ball, and this man looks like he wants to kill me.
That's the thing. Even though they are big boys, they are athletic boys.
Dude, they move, bro.
They're deceptive athletic. They can jump. Mm-hmm. They're quick on their feet. And then, like you just said,
and
so
strong.
A quarterback, he knows he's getting hit. It's just a question of how many times you're going to get hit. Yeah, if you got a good offensive line, okay, cool. But what if you don't? You're getting hit over and over and over again. Or you're getting hurried. You know, shit's getting deflected. So when you in your blind side, God forbid, you know what I'm saying? You at least want to see it coming, you know. But when it's coming, and you gotta wait for your guy to get to that part, you can't release the ball yet, but he's coming, and you gotta stay focused. And dude, these guys get annihilated.
You think it would be a good practice if offensive linemen adopted the airplane method for their quarterbacks and just started yelling, brace, brace, brace. No, bro. Yeah, they should do that. As soon as it gets past a brace, brace, brace.
That's the coach on the
yeah.
It's coming. It's coming. Brace yourself.
Just defensive lineman, bro. Why is your head between your knees? I'm in the brace position, sir. You may hit me now.
But those some studs, man. No, I'm sure. Those some studs. Those guys get that, throw that pass. Just retired. Chargers. Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers was a stud, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he stayed in that pocket. He got hit. He got up.
Still had a bajillion kids.
Good hit.
Yeah.
Talking shit. Getting tagged. Getting that ball out though.
Yeah.
He get up, brush himself off.
Consummate professional.
Good hit. Damn, you got it.
How old was he when he retired?
37, 38, something like this. Man in the corners had to bounce, so we can't go to the stats guy.
And he was
at
the Chargers for a minute.
Ever.
Yeah.
He was there for like his entire career.
Ever. Yeah.
Yeah. He you know.
I mean,
he
never won a Super Bowl.
He's a one woman man, and he's a one team.
He's a good
man.
dude. And he's got don't he got like 8 kids or something?
He's got
He got a big family, like little farm family.
He's got. Time to go out and plow the fields, children.
Yeah. Yep.
The little kids are just little ducklings going on. Off you go. Go find Lassie.
Yeah, man. Hey, milking cows and shit.
I sowed my seed so you can plant my seed in the ground. Time to grow those crops, kids.
Yep. Shit.
I sowed the seed, so tend the seed.
That's right.
Yeah, man.
How do you think we're gonna eat today? I'm not putting food on your table. Dad, you made millions of dollars playing football.
It's no off season for this season.
I don't know why I made them British. They're not British. You made you. Oh, I don't care. You're gonna learn to work for you like I had to learn. I took hits for you kids.
Yeah, man.
I bet he's apparently a good guy.
8 fucking kids.
He's a good dude.
I mean, he was an NFL quarterback, so he can afford them.
I mean, but not every NFL quarterback is having 8 kids, at least that they know of. So, you know, I mean,
I'm sure more than a few are on the mooring side.
Yeah, so 30 for 30 ain't broke his hell down, man.
Not everybody's Nick Cannon and Sean Kemp. You know what I mean? It's not.
I swear, man.
Bro, that's the whole thing. All right, we got to wrap this one up. Who's winning the? Who do you think's winning the Super Bowl? Let's put out predictions now. We'll see how it ends up in a few weeks when we come back to the pod.
Well, I have not been watching TV.
That's true. So yours is the most interesting.
I'm really guessing.
This is the most exciting one.
Yeah, here we go.
I don't care about really what you say, but
so I know we were talking earlier.
Fuck you too. Fuck you very much. Carry on.
We were talking earlier about who we thought was going to get there. I'm very familiar with what the 49ers have been doing this year, and I know the Ravens are definitely looking real. I'm gonna go Niners.
Safe bet. I'm gonna go opposite. I'm just gonna say Ravens. Go Lamar. Joel Embiid. I'll probably root against them, but I think they're gonna win. When they destroyed the Dolphins, I was like, that's it. These guys. And I also don't want them to win because Roquan Smith went there and he talked a bunch of smack on the Bears.
Dude.
So I really don't want them to win, but I just think they're gonna win. They look dominant.
Baltimore.
Even more than the Niners, and the Niners are dominant. So I just think Ravens pull that off, which it's fine. All right, you think your Packers? If you say Packers, I might throw this bottle at you. I'm just gonna say
No, I mean, listen, I do still live in the real world.
Oh,
Okay,
that's good to know.
That is good to know.
yeah,
Yeah. Thank you,
Yeah.
thanks, lads.
not
Thank
just
you.
your fantasy la la land.
No, I mean, listen, I think the way it's going to play out as well for my Packers anyway. I do think we'll beat Dallas,
Mm,
and I
bold.
think we'll then lose to San Francisco
As you do.
because we always do in the off season.
as it does.
And it will be San Francisco, Baltimore. I go for San Francisco.
Oh man,
Yeah.
nobody has an interesting pick. God dang. All right.
Okay.
Well-
Well, actually, my wild card.
Yeah. What's your wild?
My wild card. If they can mentally get themselves together again, Philly.
Not gonna happen. Those guys are gonna be out, bro. I actually would put I would probably put the Cowboys actually as a wild card. They actually look pretty good under Prescott. From
Yeah,
what
but
I've
can
seen,
they
but
beat anyone who's at their level?
If they
I
can
don't know.
maybe
I
if
mean,
they
Cowboys
can,
gonna cowboy.
they do. They find a way to lose every year.
Yeah.
It's just their mo.
They
their MO.
find a way to lose every single year. I
But
mean,
will Mike McCarthy make a difference?
Nah.
maybe I don't know.
Nah,
Maybe
maybe.
if they beat the Packers convincingly, like really like put a stomping down. They got some momentum. And they kind of like surprised the hell out of San Fran.
Yeah.
And maybe if they do get to the Super Bowl, everybody just play balls out, But I mean, they can't make any mistakes.
No.
They cannot make any mistakes because every year it's like they choke. It's not even like they choke. They just play their worst game. Everybody, So, and I'm a big Micah Parsons fan.
Yeah, he's good.
He's very
He's
good.
very good.
Yeah, I mean, they always got a squad, always got offensive line. There's no reason. I mean, this is probably the best I've ever seen. Well, heard. Not watching football, not watching TV. So this is the best I've heard Dak has played.
Yeah.
Like he's looking like real legit.
Yeah, this year.
Well, they've been waiting for him to
Forever.
come into
Yeah.
his own. He did.
And
finally.
he did.
Finally, good for him. Good for them.
Thing is, when you play for
Don't like Jerry
Dallas-
Jones.
Fucking McAfee. Mike McAfee.
My sleeper team is also the Dolphins.
You
If-
can't
if
count
they-
them out, but you got to the way that fucking that Baltimore handed their ass to them.
I know,
That was
But-
that was a surprise to me.
but I love their coach, and just for that,
yeah, who doesn't love their
Dude,
coach? But
he's
Dude's a
a
baller.
he is
Love
a he's pretty
he's
funny.
He's pretty
too.
fun. But
He is.
all right, so we got 2 Niners, 1 Ravens,
Philly
couple
wild
sleeves,
card.
Philly wild card, Dolphins wild card,
I have no idea.
no wild
but
card.
at the same time, you can't. I know that they've been pretty shit since like Taylor Swift figured out what football is.
No,
but
Chiefs don't have a chance.
You can't count them
No.
out.
No,
You cannot count out
I
Patrick
am.
Mahomes.
I'm
and their
counting them out,
experience.
and I have a brother-in-law who's a Chiefs fan. I say it to his face, and he would probably agree with me, honestly, because they don't look good.
You
I
can't
don't-
count out the winning experience.
True, but no,
I don't
I
think.
don't see it happening.
Yeah, I just from what I've been noticing about them, they just have
It's not the same.
they got smacked around all year.
Yeah, no.
How many
but
games they've lost this year?
7, 10-7, I think.
They're 10 and
10-7?
7.
No,
Or
they
they're
no.
11-6.
No,
They're either 11-6 or 10-7.
The fact that they've
Yeah, man.
lost more than 5 games says it all.
Yeah, that's stunning.
That says it all right there.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. So, all right, we can't have any of that. So we got to end this up.
can I just say one last thing?
Yeah.
In memoriam.
In memoriam.
Rest in peace, Franz Beckenbauer. the greatest player in the history of German football, soccer. He really was the main driving force behind the success of both West Germany, and then became Germany, and he really did set the founding stones for Bayern Munich becoming one of the biggest clubs in the world back in the 70s. True legend of football, and it's a real shame because over the past 5 or 6 years, we have lost. Argentina has lost Maradona. Brazil has lost Pele. Last year, absolute rest in peace. Manchester United and England legend Sir Bobby Charlton, arguably the greatest player to ever play for England, and now Franz Beckenbauer for Germany. So
I mean, they were all old.
Well, apart from Maradona, but
Maradona was just a coke fiend. But
he was an absolute coke fiend.
So his life is short. So he was much older than.
These are true legends of football in the biggest footballing nations in the world.
Yeah, there's jersey right here signed by Pele.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Wow! Yep. Wow!
Yeah.
Santos.
It's faint, but yeah, it's there.
But no, I just rest in peace, in memoriam. And he is one of only 3 people to have ever won the soccer World Cup as both a player and a coach for Germany.
Hashtag facts.
Yep.
Cool.
R.I.P. to a legend.
Their best conquest since invading Poland in 1939.
Let's not go there.
That is so ignorant.
Let's not go there.
That is so ignorant, man.
Bro, I'm Polish. What do you mean?
This is post-war Germany. Post-war Germany.
Oh,
let's not
it had
go
to
there.
be said.
Okay, let's not go there.
But he was a great. His clips if you go check.
He was the greatest player to ever come.
Yeah. He was
yes.
For sure. He's a legend. R.I.P. legend. And don't forget, everybody, to go buy your Stanley Cups. They're being sold out in every Target known to man. Nobody knows why.
Well, they're just being stolen.
It's just another cup.
Yeah.
They're being stolen. Everybody's buying them up. I don't know why this is a fad, but everybody's doing it. But anyway, more on that never, because nobody cares. So except people who are buying the cup. And it has nothing to do with hockey, but there you go.
Yeah.
So anyway, we hope you enjoyed listening to us talk about all of these things. It's going on. It's the times, man. These are the things that are happening. It's crazy stuff. I want to say thanks to the crew here. Man in the corner left a little early. Ron, how'd you feel this being your first time on the pod?
Oh man, this was great. Like I missed the collaboration. So it's good to be with you guys. You all got a really built up, your platform. So I'm glad that you all invited me to come hang out. So I love it, man.
Awesome.
We love having you, Ronald.
We're
Appreciate it.
excited to have
Thank
you as part of the crew and on many more podcasts moving
I look
forward in
forward.
2024.
Absolutely.
T, any final thoughts from you on the start of the new year and the new version of our pod?
I'm great. You know what?
Perfect. That's what I was hoping you'd say.
I got one thing.
Oh yeah.
Jordan is better than LeBron.
Oh my goodness. There
Let's
you
go.
go. There, you heard it here first on the Men of the Times.
Hashtag facts.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure you've heard that everywhere. I think that's people still debate that for some reason. I don't know why. But anyway, these are the things that are happening in our times, and we're going to keep talking about them because we are Men of the Times, and we'll all see you next time.